Hello, today I'm going to create a card using some products from Cat Scrappiness since I am a member of the Cat Scrappiness creative crew. The first item is the Christmas Wishes word die, and I've already cut the shadow and the word Christmas or words Christmas Wishes and glued them onto the shadow. Set that aside, whoops. The next is the reindeer duo, and there are two reindeers. These are silhouette dies, and I've cut one silhouette from gold cardstock and one from white cardstock, and I've layered them up and I've just offset them a little bit so you can see a little bit of that gold peeking behind there. Set that aside. And the next is the fall frame. This is from the new release, and I've cut the frame, and we're going to create kind of a pop-up shadow box type card. Set that aside. What I'm going to do for the background of my card is I'm going to watercolor somewhat of a night scene. It's basically just going to be an ombre of dark blue watercolor paint that I start from the top and lighten up as it comes towards the bottom. And to start that out, I just have some clean water I'm going to spray on my watercolor paper that I've already used some low-tack masking tape or painter's tape, and I have a 1-inch brush that I've just wet the bristles in some clean water I have off screen, and a paper towel. I'm just going to spread that water I sprayed out on the top of this. I'm using today these Kiritaki Gamzai Tombi watercolor paints, and the color I'm going to use, I'm actually going to use a couple of colors. Let me show you here on my swatches, and I'm going to use indigo, which is number 67, and this, I have the set of 48, but the indigo comes in a set of 12. I might also use this blue gray deep and maybe a little black. And I have a little palette that I'm going to be mixing my colors in, and let's see, this is my indigo here. Add some water to that, and then blue gray deep, add some water to that, and the black, add some water to that. And what I do is I just mix it up with my brush, kind of just use several brush strokes across the moistened watercolor in the pan, and then I'm going to kind of drag that off the edge so it puts that pigment into my little pot here. A little bit more, and then I'll clean my brush out so I don't contaminate my other pans. Get some more water on there, and then I'm going to take some of this blue gray deep, do the same thing, just using several brush strokes to kind of mix that with the water, and then scrape the bristles off the side of my palette here. A little bit more. There we go. That should be enough. Okay, set those aside. Running out of room on my table here. Bring back my watercolor paper, and let's see here, scooch these guys out of the way and mix that up in my palette, just a little back and forth. There we go. So now my brush is saturated with the ink, and I'm going to start at the top, just several brush strokes down the paper, and the watercolor will come off of the bristles of the brush, and I just keep, I think we need some more water here, keep brushing down the paper, and it lightens. I'm going to add some water to my bristles, start up a little bit higher and continue to go down till I get to the bottom, then start again from the top and bring that down again. There we go. I'm going to add some more ink or watercolor to my brush, start again from the top, bring that down. I'm going to clean some of that watercolor off of my brush, add some water, start a little bit higher where the watercolor is darker, and carry it down. There we go. I'm going to bring some of this down a little bit more. There we go. And what I'm going to do now is use my heat tool, and I'm going to dry what's on here. Okay, I'm going to add some water to my brush again, and there's a part here that's a little bit darker than the rest of it, so I'm going to just drag that across and add some more water to my brush. Dunk it into the watercolor again, start from the top again. I want the top to be the darkest, create somewhat of an ombre effect here. Add a little bit of water to my brush, start higher on the watercolor and drag that down all the way to the bottom and dry again. I think I'm going to wet my brush, and I'm going to pick up a little bit more of the indigo blue. I don't want this so gray. Add a little bit more water. Start from the top again. A little bit more water. Start higher. Bring that watercolor down. A little more water. A little bit more water. Dry it again. I think we'll do one more layer. Adding water to my brush. Add some watercolor. I'm going to start from this side this time, dragging it across. A little more water. Start higher up on the panel, dragging that down. A little more water. A little more water. Just trying to kind of pick up some of these pools of color. I think that'll do it. Clean that brush off. Dry it one more time. But that's okay. Okay, now I'm going to take a round brush. This is a size 12. I'm going to just wet it, and I'm going to pick up some of the bluish gold. And this is number 91, it looks like. And I'm add some more water. Just kind of add some more water. Mix that around, and I'm going to do some gold splatters on our background. Just tap that brush on my finger, get some splatters. Okay, that looks good. Clean my brush off. Whoops. I'm a little bit clumsy. Okay, bring in my heat tool again and dry that off. Okay. Now the big reveal. When you're removing your low-tack tape, you want to pull against itself when you're removing the tape. Down. Grab the other side and just pulling it against itself so it doesn't rip your background. Okay. Let me clean this mess up and we'll get to making the card. So we have a piece of 4 1/4 by 5 1/2 inch cardstock. This is 100 pound white cardstock, and I'm going to cut this in half at 2 1/8. Make sure that's straight. There we go. Oh, it looks like I have two pieces. Two pieces here. Okay. 2 1/8. Cut that in half. Then we are going to score these. These are our pop-up mechanisms. Tuck that in the corner. My score tool, starting at 3/8. Then we're going to score it every 3/8 of an inch. So 1, 2, 3 at 3 1/4. 1, 2, 3, 1 1/8. 1, 2, 3, 1 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 1 7/8. And repeat the same steps for this piece. Score at 3/8. 1, 2, 3, 3/4. 1, 2, 3, 1/8. 1, 2, 3, 1/2. Or I'm sorry, 1 1/2. 1, 2, 3, 1 7/8. That one looks smaller than this one. It must be. It doesn't matter because these are going to be the areas that the two end sections of each flap will be the part that attaches to the card, so it's okay that it's not exactly 3/8 inch wide, and I'll show you why in just a second. Now we're going to burnish these score marks. Just fold it down in an accordion style. Oops, that one moved. Make sure that's even along the edge. There we go. Oops, not even. Continue to fold. There's one piece. Just keep folding it over until you have your accordion, and then finish this way. There we go. Now, with the frame portion, I'm going to use my scoreboard to line these up, so I'm going to just put that in the corner of my scoreboard, and I think we're going to use some tape runner for this. Let me get a piece of scratch paper. Flatten this out a little bit so I can put some adhesive. And I think you go this way. Oops, shoot out of the way. And run some, and you just want it to be in the section of the score mark, so I'm going to be off the paper a little bit. Turn around the other side, get this portion also. Just making sure that it's inside that score mark. There we go. Lift that up. And then any of the tape runner that hangs off the edge, just use my finger to roll that back on itself. And the same on the opposite side. Okay, and with the first piece, we're going to take our frame that's in the corner of our scoreboard and then just butt this up so that the score mark is touching the corner of the scoreboard, and press that down. And so the cut portion is facing in. And we'll flip this around the other way and repeat that process. And add some adhesive inside that score line. There we go. Turn that around and do the opposite side. Lift that off of our scratch paper here. Set that aside. And again, I want the first score, or the first bend, is going to go against the corner of the scoreboard, or the edge of the scoreboard, and lay that down on the frame and push that down. It's important that you have them facing the same direction so that they don't lean. And I'll show you an example of that in just a second. Now I'm going to take my watercolor background and I'm going to fold these mechanisms up on themselves. And and put the corner of the score marks against and push that down. There we go. Turn it around so that the opposite side is in the corner. And first I'm going to fold these up again. Grab it from the inside and then push the fold of the score mark up against the edge of the scoreboard, the inside edge, so that these are, there we go, push that down. Oops, it looks like the opposite side is coming up a little bit. Let me push that down again, get it lined up. Hold that, burnish that down so that the adhesive grabs hold. There we go, and that is our kind of pop-up. Got a little bit of a wrinkle in there. I think that's because one of my scores is off on one side, but you understand the idea. Okay, so next we're going to take our white and gold pieces, the deer, and I'm going to add some liquid adhesive and hold them with my reversible tweezers. Add some glue to my deer. Ooh, it's coming out heavy. And then just reach in here, and I kind of want to center him up. Let go with my tweezers. Hold that down for a second so the glue grabs hold. And then our Christmas wishes, I'm going to attach it on the bottom portion of the frame. So I'm just going to put some glue on this side, and across the bottom. Center that up and grab it from the bottom of the frame. Let that glue grab hold. And there we go. And now when you push this down, it'll go fold flat in the envelope. And you have yourself a pop-up Christmas card. Thanks for watching my video. And if you would, subscribe to the channel and give me a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.